Hey everyone, my name is Chloe and today I'm here to do my August TBR. So in July, I did a TBR and I think it was probably the first time in a while because there was a readathon a couple things that I wanted to do, like a TBR game, which is Roll Your Next Read by Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand and Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. And I wanted to do Krista from Books and Jams and Amy from Amy's Bookish Life, their Ketchupathon 2023, which was a Build Your Own Sunday readathon. And so I really wanted to do both of those. And so I made a TBR for the first time in a long time. And the reason I don't make TBRs happened to me. So I made these TBRs, borrowed all the things from the library, and I love like making lists and having like all the different due dates and kind of making that puzzle fit of like when to read what and how to do it all. And it just kind of blew up in my face in July. Like honestly, I bit off more than I can chew. I was trying to do it all off my shelves, which is great, but also it was just not leaving me any space for mood reading. And I just got slumpy and overwhelmed, and dates of things, like it just felt like too much. Like it didn't feel good. And so some of you guys had commented on some of those videos of like, gosh, it doesn't seem like you're liking anything. And I wasn't. And part of it is because of just the pressure really ruins reading for me, as well as like not having enough space to mood read. And it was just poor planning of things, because I had my July book haul revisit and I had quite a few books that I wanted to read for that. My TBR just got overwhelming. And so this month I'm taking that bit of knowledge and I'm not going to do as much. There is a readathon I really want to do, and I really want to do Roll Your Next Read again. And so I'm gonna have an August book haul revisit that we're just gonna hope is small. It's July 23rd right now, so I have not filmed that. I don't know how many books I need to read for that. So we're gonna try to keep it more manageable this month and see how it goes and see if maybe I like it better, because I do like having a TBR and having structure. And like I said, like I love slotting in dates and like making it kind of a puzzle and kind of a challenge. But when it's like, oh gosh, I have 4 books due in the next 5 days and this readathon is going to end and blah, 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 then it becomes not fun for me. And so it's a fine line, and I'm going to just see if we can make it work this month. So the first thing I'm going to do is Roll Your Next Read. And last month, I think I did 5 books. This time I'm going to do 3 just to see, if we can kind of make it a little more manageable. As before, I will pop up the screen or the board right here, and I will pan over to me rolling the dice to see what the prompts are. And I love this. If you guys have not seen this, I'll link my video down below, and I will also link the like Google Doc or whatever that has this board so you can see it closer and so you can play if you want to. But it basically just leads you to tropes or prompts or whatever. So you can do your own, you can make it whatever you want. So I'm sitting by my bookshelves. That's why I'm up here in my room. And so let's see what the first roll is. Okay, so the first roll is going to be for the top number and the second roll is going to be for the bottom number. So let's see. I'm rolling on top of a Pete the Cat book. Sorry. 4 and 3. Okay, so 4 and 3 is old. Old. What can I find for old? Hang on one second. Okay, so for old, I'm going to be reading Slightly Married by Wendy Markham. So this is number 3, 4, I don't know. This is an older series. So this book was it's sometime in the early 2000s, I think. And I've had it on my shelf for a long time. So this was 2007. So it's an older book. I've had it on my shelf a long time. This is, like I said, number 3 or 4 in a series. It follows the same character, and I have read the other ones and really enjoyed it. And so this is very similar to Shopaholic and all of that, and I really enjoy this series. So I'm going to pick this one up. Let's do our next roll. Okay, we've got 1 and 4. So 1 and 4 is random. Random. I mean, I could make this work. Like, I could double this up, but I'm not going to because I want to do separate vlogs. I love vlogging too, and this kind of gives me a purpose. So let me see a random. Actually, should we do like a random number generator? Let's do that. I'll do it on my phone, and we can watch together. Random number generator, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves of books that I can get digitally, and so we'll do it that way. Random number generator. First, I'll do the shelf. Let's see, minimum 1 to 5, and we'll see what shelf we're on. So generate shelf 5. Now, how many? Oh, there's a lot of books on that shelf. I'll just say like 30. I don't know how many there actually are. Well, maybe we'll make it 40. Okay, book 9. So shelf 5, book 9. Let's see. Interesting. So we have Out of the Easy by Ruta Septys. So this one I've heard. Is this her debut? I don't know. I've heard not as great things about this, but it'll be good to get this read and get my thoughts. This is 2013. So we'll see. Out of the Easy by Ruta Septys. This is going to be an interesting TBR, friends. Okay, now let's do one more roll. Okay, we've got 6 and 2. So 6 and 2 is Scroll. Okay. So let's get on Instagram because I don't really do book talk. So let's get on Instagram and see what the first book I see is. So let's see. Well, no, because I don't have any. I don't have any of these books on my shelf that I'm seeing. Tessa Bailey. What else am I seeing? I don't do a ton of like any Bookstagram anything, honestly. I'm like just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. How about I scroll on Goodreads? That's a better idea. I'll scroll on Goodreads. I wish I could, well, I guess I can share my screen. Hold on. Let me screen record this. This is going to be technology at its finest, kids. Okay, we got a screen record. And the first one that I own, I'll read it. So the 7-Year Slip, I really want to read that, but I don't own that one. Secret History, don't own that. What You're Looking For is in the Library. Don't know what that is, but it sounds interesting. Happiness Falls, I don't own that. None of this is true. I really liked. But I don't own, I do own that, but I've already read it. Hello Stranger, I've already read and own and love. Goodness, this one's a tricky one. I think Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, I think she did this too. The Last Word I've already read. Goodness. From Lukov with Love, I want to, but I don't own it. Night Road I've read. Heavens to Betsy. This might take a minute. Harry Potter. Only One Left. I do have Only One Left. Pretty sure. Yep. So I will be reading Only One Left by Riley Sager. Is that up here? I don't think I've hauled that yet. So spoiler alert. But yeah, let's do that. Okay. So we've got Out of the Easy, Slightly Married, and Only One Left. So that is my Roll Your Next Read TBR. Now, for the readathon that I'm going to be doing, it is, let me see what it's called. I've got my handy dandy notebook right over here. Also, if you know what that is, handy dandy notebook, drop it in the comments below and you'll get a gold star. But I'm doing the Back to School Readathon, which takes place from August 25th to August 31st. So it's the very end of the month, which feels really good because I can like get everything else out of the way at the beginning of the month and then do this, just focus on this for the last week. So this is hosted by Liv's Library, Gwendolyn Kinsinger, Reading with Jess, and A Book Like You. So I will link all of them down below. And this is a really fun thing. It's supposed to be a week long of both Bookstagram and YouTube, I think. And so there's bookish prompt, like reading prompts, and then there's also photo prompts. I'm not going to do any of the photo prompts because, like I just said, I don't really do Bookstagram. Like I just am not a good Instagrammer at all. This sounds so fun though, because back to school time is my favorite, you guys. As a kid, I loved school. I loved going to buy new school supplies. Like this back to school time was my favorite. So then I loved it so much that I went into teaching. And as a teacher, the beginning of school is just the best. And now homeschooling the girls, I haven't decided like when we're going to do our first day of school, how we're going to do it. I don't know any of that, but I'm equally as excited. And so this is all to like celebrate maybe the back to school time, or else celebrate the end of summer right before you go back to school. But the way they did this is so unique. And so it's got each of your class periods and each one corresponds with a prompt. So for English, we are going to be reading a book with an academic setting. And I just left my pile somewhere else. Hold on. So I'm giving myself 2 options for this. And maybe that's how this is going to be more manageable. I don't know. But first we've got You've Been Volunteered by Laurie Gelman, which this is the one that I have not read in the Class Mom series. So the premise of the series is that this woman is the class mom for her 5-year-old son, and she has like teenage kids. This is a later in life kid, and she's the class mom, and she's very much not your typical class mom. She's crash, she's sassy, all that kind of stuff. And I really enjoyed, I think I've read the first and third, which is Class Mom and then Yoga Pant Nation. This one's You've Been Volunteered, which is in the middle, and I think the kid is maybe somewhere in, let's see, I don't know. I don't know how old it is, but she is dealing with a whole, I don't know. But whatever. I think this still deals with school-age kids. I don't know for sure. The other option is a lot more serious, and this is Keeping Lucy by T. Greenwood. And this is about, in Dover, Massachusetts, 1969, Jenny Robertson's daughter, Lucy, is born with Down syndrome, and she's taken away to, like, a special school. But Jenny... 2 years later, Jenny's best friend shows her a series of articles exposing Willow Ridge, the school, as a hell on earth. So she, I think, goes to try to fight for her daughter. And so it's in this like special school. So both of these I think would count for the academic setting. So that is my English prompt. Now let's see what is next. Math. So a number in the title. And so I'm going to be reading, again, I'm trying to do all of this just off my shelf. And so we have Second Chance by James Patterson. This is number 2 in his Women's Murder Club series. And I read the first one a while ago and loved it. And I don't know why I have not picked up another. Again, such short chapters. I love James Patterson for that. And the premise of this series is about 4 different women who are all have jobs like in the crime solving industry. So one's like a detective, one's a medical examiner. There's all the, they've all 4 got different jobs. They don't know each other until they come together on this case, and they start working together, and it's the Women's Murder Club. So number 2 sounds really fun. And I've got the first 8, and you can see I got them from Half Price Books for $3 for the hardcover. And so I really want to continue in the series. I don't know why I haven't. So that is what I will be doing for math. PE. So this is featuring an activity, which I don't know what that means, but I am going to read Learning to Swim by Sarah J. Henry. I don't think this has anything to do with swimming. I don't know, but the cover and the title makes you think maybe swimming. I mean, not like a sport, but learning to swim. Swimming is an activity. It's a PE activity, we're going to call it. So this is about a woman who sees a kid fall into a lake, and she tries to save him. He speaks French, and nobody is seemingly looking for him. I think it's the first in a series, maybe. But learning to swim, it's probably way more like metaphorical, but I'm going to make it work because swimming is a PE sport. So now lunch. This is a book that includes a recipe, which is almost always like a cozy mystery, and I don't have any of those on my shelf, so I'm going to kind of stretch this prompt and do Paris Daillencourt is about to crumble, because this is a cake. This is about a baking competition. I think this guy starts having feelings for his competitor, maybe. I don't know. This is by Alexis Hall, and this is an arc, and so I don't know. I mean, this book has been out for a long time now, but I am excited to read this, and they've got little rolling pins and stuff as the not chapter headers, but break headers. So I'm excited to read this, and I'm counting it for lunch. Now, science needs to have a sun, moon, or stars on the cover. So I'm going to be reading this big boy, which is The Book of Two A's by Jodi Picoult. So I'm saying this is a sun. I think it's a sun. If it's not a sun, please don't burst my bubble, because the only other books I have that fit this prompt are more Halloween-y kind of witchy books, or not Halloween-y, but just spooky books or whatever, cute, spooky, whatever. I don't want to read that in August because I want to save those for September, October. So I think this is a sun. And I don't know much about this book except I love Jodi, and this is one of the few that I have not read. So everything changes in a single moment for Dawn. She's on a plane when the flight attendant makes an announcement, prepare for crash landing. Yikes. She braces, thoughts go through her mind. The shocking thing is the thoughts are not of her husband, but a man she saw 15 years ago. She survives a crash, but doubts have been raised now. Yeah, so and somewhere in Egypt is Wyatt, the guy. who got away. He's an archaeologist, and the airline and suit, whatever. I think it is, as the story unfolds, Dawn's two possible futures unspool side by side. So do the secrets and doubts long buried with them. So, I think this sounds really good. I have heard mixed results, but I love this trope, so we'll see. Next is study hall. So this is watch a movie with an academic setting, and I am not going to do that. I just know I'm not, because I haven't watched a movie in probably 6 years. I don't love movies, and now with 3 little kids, time for them is like late at night, and I don't have the energy to. So I would always rather be reading than watching movies, so I'm not going to do that one. Next is social studies. So this is going to be multiple timelines. And so I think what I'm going to read is The Orphan House by Ann Bennett. So this one was in my first TBR, like the shelf that I can't get physically. I did this on a try a chapter tag, and I was intrigued by it. And I think, John, was it you that commented that you wanted me to read this? And so this is 1934 and then present day. There is an orphanage, and the Connie Burroughs loves living in an orphanage that her father runs. And then she sees him carrying a baby, and then it's present day, and let's see, the orphanage, the dad, I think the dad was the abandoned baby, maybe, I can't remember, but this sounds really interesting. 1934 and now, so I'm excited to read it. And then the last one is art. So it's a comic, graphic novel, or manga. So I recently read my first one by Debbie Tung, and it was about marriage and stuff. And so I immediately went and got all the other Debbie Tung graphic novels out from the library. So we have Quiet Girl in a Noisy World. Have not even taken my stickers off yet. Book Love, and Everything is Okay. I really loved that graphic novel. And so these, I like the art style. I liked the amount of words. You can kind of just flip to a page. There's not a ton of words on each page. Like you can read these in 20 minutes or whatever. So I got all of these. And they're all like memoirs, kind of autobiographical or whatever. And so I'm not sure which I will read, which I'll read for the readathon, whichever one allows me to keep it, because that's like a month from now, and so I'll have to renew it. So if anybody's waiting, obviously I'm going to send these back. But if they're not, I will keep one of these and read it for the readathon. So that is my giant stack. That is my TBR. And I tried to give myself like a variety. Last month I also did like a lot of thrillers, and or not even necessarily thrillers, but a lot of books that were kind of similar, either literary or thrillers, and it just kind of bogs me down. So this time I'm trying to get a good variety, and I think I've done it. So wish me luck. And like I said, fingers crossed for the August book haul revisit that I don't have a ton to read for that. But yeah. That is what I'm going to be reading in the month of August. What are you going to be reading in August? Have you read any of these books? Do you have a favorite of these Debbie Tung books? Let me know. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.